Hi, today's adventure we are in McPherson, Kansas.
It's partway between Salina and Wichita.
Enjoy the sights and sounds. No, enjoy the sights. It's really windy today. I doubt there'll be many sounds.
All right, as usual, tell us a little bit about McPherson.
Okay. McPherson was founded in 1874. It was a railroad town, and by 1888 it was actually a junction of 4 railroad lines. So became kind of a hub there. Its current population is about 14,000, and it does have a small private 4-year college there, McPherson College. We actually stumbled upon McPherson somewhat. We were on our way to Salina and pulled off the beaten path and thought it was so cute we went back the next day.
Yeah, it was another gorgeous day. As I mentioned earlier, the wind was really heavy, and so we just really couldn't use any of the audio. But definitely doesn't distract from the pictures and the video. It looks great. This is a really cute downtown. I mean, it's not very big, although the town isn't very big either, but like a lot of these little towns in Kansas, it's well preserved, and almost every building is still in use, and at least in this case, we saw very few that weren't occupied by some kind of business or restaurant. There's the old post office. Apparently, back in 1936, the first ever Olympic basketball champions came from this town.
And their auditorium was just down the street from there. Some really cool old bank buildings in some of these small towns.
And we're learning as we go on the best way to capture these downtowns. It's hard to take pictures and do it justice, and it's hard to do video because inevitably there's cars or people everywhere. So we've sort of tried combining a few different methods, including in some cases we'll do kind of a drive-through so you can get a little bit of both sides at the same time. And the other thing we're learning, sort of the hard way, is you really have to be aware of the lighting, where the sun is in relation to the buildings for shadowing and things like that. So we've kind of abandoned our usual practice of starting on one end and walking to the other, and now we're trying to just match whatever the lighting is most conducive for.
And you can see just on the edge of town, all of a sudden you're in an industrial area. And again, some really cool murals on the sides of buildings. We've mentioned that in other videos, that Kansas has a lot of great art that's just public art, either murals or sculptures.
And that's an old movie theater that's still in use.
It was a beautiful sunny day, definitely one of our colder ones. And like we said, we didn't use audio today because it was really windy.
Yeah, not being from the area, coming from the Pacific Northwest where November is pretty much cold. Here, we're learning one day it can be 70, 75 degrees, and the very next day it can be 50, 55 degrees. This happened to be one of those days that barely 50 degrees. Hank's Place is where we stopped for a little refreshment and a little lunch.
We liked Hank's Place, and obviously there's lots of regulars there.
Yeah, now we're just sort of paralleling the main street downtown, walking through the neighborhoods.
I've just loved all the fall colors here, and so every city we've gone to, I've wanted to capture the trees.
And this little park here that we're about to see looks like in the summertime they must do some concerts. It has a little stage, that's what you're seeing in the background there, and then a little food shack.
So that's the side of the Opera House that's still in use, and it looks like just an amazing building. And then down from there, these were apartments. There's the Opera House again. And the train depot. I did say it was the major, had 4 railroads going through there at one time.
So as I mentioned just a little bit ago, this is kind of a drive through just the heart of downtown. It's only about 5-6 blocks is all, but this way you can kind of get a better perspective on both sides of the street. So definitely a great find. Enjoyed ourselves, had a good time. So we'll leave you with some final thoughts. As always, get off the couch and we'll see you next time.
Cheers, everyone.